Hello everyone. Sound check, sound check. Can you hear me? Welcome to the stream, ladies and gentlemen. We have had a lot of fun today, prepping, setting up, and we are in a very fun, exciting state now when we do fine-tunes, balancing, and a lot of work on the upcoming patch, as you know. Dark Law, thank you for the subscription. Appreciate it. So we have a very exciting stream today where we're going to show a lot of... there's going to be added a whole new layer of depth with a lot of skills and new stuff when it comes to combat in general. We're going to showcase a lot here. Thank you for the 39 month, Devil Reflex. We're all here because we want MortalOnline to... it's always cutting off. Where do I have my... sleeve 79, thank you. 1 second, just setting up this little thing. Oh yeah, because we want to do a huge successful game. Good luck with the stream today. Thank you very much. So yeah, we've been waiting a lot for this patch, as you know. It's quite packed with content and a lot of different things, you know. We are wrapping things up for PTR. We have the invasion, Tagmatons, we have the TC, Outpost content updates, and then of course we have the one of the highest voted on the voting list, combat abilities, finally. Senwit, thank you for the 2 months. And Diggly Puffy, thank you for the 3 months. Appreciate it. And welcome in with the raid, Andrew. So, you know, we're gonna announce the PTR very shortly, because now we need your help. Anyone that are interested in jumping in and having a go when it comes to combat abilities, we greatly appreciate that support, because we need a lot of feedback, help with balancing things. There's a few things that may be standing out OP, and there may be a few of them that are the opposite, right? So we appreciate getting the help when it comes to putting everything in a good state before we push it live. So yeah, I guess there's not much else to talk about rather than just jump into action and dig deep into the new system we have for reckoning when it comes to all combat abilities. We have I've been working in motion capture suit for quite a lot, and holy shit, that's not easy, and it is quite a strain. I'm not that young anymore, so it was quite the workout sessions. But it's been really fun, and I'm very happy with the outcome. The motion capture worked really good, and the artist that helps fine-tuning and cleaning up have done a really good job. Now, the current patch status we are in now, obviously don't have everything fine-tuned and polished. We're still heavily tweaking the numbers, and also tweaking especially the first person animation to have sweet spots. You will probably notice a few things I've noticed are a little bit off from the centerpiece. Some of the angles maybe a little bit off, but you know, those are the things that we're fine-tuning now. So you don't have to panic if you see something being a little bit skewed or not spot on the crosshair. We have about, if I'm not mistaken, about 250 something abilities, new moves spread out on the weapon group. So there's a hell of a lot to learn and go through. It's been so fun to do these different combos, and you know, it just feels like a whole new experience on top of the you know, good melee based combat system. But now we're talking about, you know, another layer of tactics and options, which is really refreshing. It's been super fun. playing around with it today, especially setting up everything that I'm going to show you today. No, 250, 150. So yeah, it's about, we have 3 abilities per weapon. I'm going to show you, so I may as well jump in, guys, so we can see what I'm talking about rather than me saying it all. Just gonna see if we can move over here. Let me see if we can go here. Do you have sound in the game, guys? Can you hear this? Chicka boom. Do you hear the in-game sound, guys? Yes, alright, great. So I can just start out showing you some cool stuff. So let's take a little cleave. And then, you know, we may as well do a little snappy, you know. So let's dig a little deeper. Let's dig a little deeper, you know. I feel like a freaking superhero on steroids when I'm doing this. Maybe you spot what's happened here. A lot of fun stuff when it comes to melee combat. So let me introduce you to the new combat system. So here we have a new tab window, the combat abilities. And here you can see all the current weapon groups we have. We are right now on two-handed axes. You know, the promised cleave we've been talking about over the years, finally here. You saw I smacked multiple walkers in one strike. And then I went to the bow with my quick swap. There's a few more abilities for bows. No, sorry, I actually went to the spear and did this little swing thrust. It's one of my favorite right now. It just feels freaking awesome. So as you can see here, we have a new UI, the adrenaline system bar. Giving damage, taking damage, parrying, they all contribute giving adrenaline. And then, you know, we have those abilities like this one. Holy shit! Holy shit! The long-awaited abilities. And it just feels awesome, guys. We have so much fun today setting this up and just playing around with different combos. So one of my favorite combos right now is running around with the axe and then quick swap to the spear. So yeah, the sling is one of my favorites right now. It's freaking cool. So as you can see, there's a little band attached to the spear. So when I'm throwing it, I'm pulling it straight back. So let's go through a little bit about what this all means here in the combat ability window. So the spear, we have impale with 2 dots. That means obviously the adrenaline cost it requires, and there's no direction. It's a custom animation for impale. Same thing with sling thrust. You just throw it straight out. It costs 3 adrenaline costs currently. Obviously this is all balanced, that we want your input in. And then Mortal great again. Awesome trigger, guys. Just wait till you get your hands on it. This is just the beginning. This is just the tip of the iceberg. There's a lot of stuff that is really cool. We're going to show you a lot today. And then we have the sting for the spear. It costs 1 adrenaline dots, but here you can see there's 4 directions. It's pretty self-explanatory for you veterans. You can probably guess that those are the eligible directions you can perform this one in. So it's from all the direction, you know, up, left, right, down, thrust, overhead. If you go to the axe, to an axe, cleave, it only have 2 directions you can choose from, left or right, when you do the cleave. Then we have severance, it's 1 direction, it's 2 adrenaline cost, cleave 1 cost there. The bow got a little more options. As you can see here, volley, leaves a volley up to 3 arrows. Spread shot, you shoot 3 arrows at once. Piercing shot, again a little bit self-explanatory. Yes, you can parry the abilities. We're gonna show a lot of stuff. Just give us a moment, and we'll go through a lot of this stuff. So yeah, this is a piercing shot you do with this one, and then we have retreat. This is really cool. I'm gonna show you. Now again, the effects and stuff are not final, so if something looks too crazy, you know, we are aware, and obviously we also appreciate the feedback on things, because it's important to get feedback to see what's going on. Force shot, yeah, snapshot. You see the description, I assume. Near instant knock, draw, lose a single arrow, and then we have the steady hands. This one is cool because you can pretty much move around without any wobbling, so it's a very accurate aim for this one. And then we have shared abilities down here. So how this works is if we go to, for instance, the spear that I'm using right now. So here is kind of where you pull these down to where you want them, as you can see here. So these are predefined keys to use your abilities. And then you have shared abilities, like all of these, that you can also choose to put on this one, the bar here. And then as you can see, so this is the spear, right? And this is the axe. It changes here to those abilities I've set up here. And I can set another combo here, whatever I want, right? And then when I'm happy with that setup, I close this window. And as you can see now, I swapped from the spear to an axe. You see down here in that window, those updates automatically. So you just swap the weapons and you have your preferences set up here. And I set to these keys as a default. Obviously you can change them, you know, your hotkeys afterwards. And then we also have, so these abilities are based on the skills, right? So you need to learn these books, the skills. They're not correct icons, but you learn these by unlocking these abilities. So quite straightforward, right? You go for what you want and learn those abilities by reading them instantly. So you access them. So if you don't have them here, you can't pull them down here. But as soon as you have got these skills, you can access them here. So you can always read on them even though you haven't learned it. So that is kind of how the basic rules work. Quite straightforward, right? So you go through all these weapons of your choice. If you're a dagger wielder, then you have these 3 to choose from. Precision strikes, for instance, you have all the directions available to perform that one. What it does is it allows you to thrust with the dagger from any direction. So obviously quite useful. You're used to today you just have thrust center, right? But with this ability you can thrust from any direction. So obviously you need to you know, parry the right direction when it comes to thrusts. Piercing strike. This 50% armor piercing, if you manage to pull that one off. It's one custom animation, so it's one direction you have to learn. Is 3 adrenaline cost abilities. Gouge. It can go from these directions, so you can't do the thrust version, but you can do the other directions. Violently gouge your blade into your opponents, inflicting bleeding also, if you manage to hit. So really cool, unique abilities that adds a lot of, obviously again, the numbers when it comes to piercing amounts, the damage, the bleed, that's where we want a lot of feedback on. So we hope that a lot of you guys are interested in jumping in on PTR and give feedback on this one. The goal is that nothing is OP and that everything is useful and interesting, obviously. So we want to start slow and easy. What else do we have? I mean, do you want to see all of these ones? We can probably post them later. Flurry performs 2 flowing cuts. I can also call in one of the guys here so we can show some of the action in front of me. This is MortalOnline2, eh? For instance, you see I had a little a thrust from below and one from above. And And as you can see, so if I just wait, you always have 1 adrenaline bar. It slowly goes up to 1. So abilities that just uses 1 adrenaline, you can always perform as long as you have that 1 baseline. But if you wait, like I'm doing now, as you can see here now, the adrenaline slowly goes down, but it gets stuck on the first one. So you always have that quick light ability to start engaging with. You don't have to, you know, start fighting, so you can't do any ability, but you can only do 1 dots versions. There's a few differences though. All clades have different unique powers on top of this. I'm a Thursa right now, which means I have 11 dots. If you count all these, I can go up to 11. All the other clades only have 10. So that's one of the uniqueness of the Thursars. And we also have the Clade gift. Which one was it? Yeah, aggressive. If you have this one, you can see there increased maximum adrenaline and 5% more adrenaline gain from dealing damage. So if you're aggressive, you gain slightly more adrenaline as well. So all clades have their different uniqueness. For instance, the Alvarine have 2 as a baseline. So you can actually engage with 1 or 2 instantly without having to engage in fights. Thursars have more, Augmers have more tank abilities, so the more damage they take, the more adrenaline they gain. The humans have a natural ability where they don't lose the ticking down rates as fast. So if you're, you know, building up adrenaline, it remains way longer than all the rest. So you can, you know, run around and chase someone without having to panicking they deplete too fast. So there's some interesting small variations on all the clades. But again, obviously, numbers on these things are one of them too powerful, too low, to be not useful. We're gonna tweak those, right? So, so now we have, I think it's Enable Us jumped in to help me show some stuff. Let's whack him. The Villa they have a 2 as a minimum. You can see now, right? It's ticking down to 1 on everyone but Alvarines. They tick down to 2. So you have passively the 2 at the beginning. Of course. The human is, like I said, you don't lose. You see now it slowly ticks down if I don't engage in action. That time ticks down way slower for humans, so you don't have to panic as much to, you know, use it. Now this update, it looks so progress. You guys were cooking with this patch. We've been cooking for a few months, as you know. And obviously we are sorry for taking a lot of time on this. We know everyone is hungry for new content. It's quite slow in Mortal Live, and people are taking a break now as well, you know, which is a good opportunity while we are cooking for those that are hungry for more content. As you can see here, he's performing different cuts with the dagger. So it's thrust from all the directions, as you saw. Is the one that I explained before. And then he have a... Did you see that little cool? He swapped the rotation and stabbed with it. So there's a lot of cool stuff you can do. You know. So there's a bunch to go through, and you would probably find your sweet, interested abilities that you may be interested in. So now he's gaining adrenaline, and then he will perform the different moves that the two-handed hammer have to offer. That is one hell of a breaking blow he did there. He smacked the head, and boom, boom, you know. So there's a nice little combo from the side and then from above, which means you need to parry left and up, right? Now we're looking at the two-handed axe. Yeah, I mean, okay, so he's on the two-handed axe, right? You have cleave, so this is the cleave. what it does, it can hit multiple mobs. So if there's a crowd, you cut through them all. So now he's on the one-handed weapon. He was doing the counter, I think. So the counter is interesting. You see there, he can parry. Yeah, fortunately, counter a parry an incoming strike while performing an elegant thrust. And a riposte is kind of what a lot of people have been asking for, that we wanted to try. So you go into a riposte state, and during that riposte state, if you get hit, you do a quick counter based on that, but only if you get hit. There was the riposte you saw. So he goes up in a state, and if someone hits him during that state, it will quickly follow up with a counter hits. Yeah, I can try hit him. Holy shit, man! That was a little slice combo. See if I hit him, I can see if I can hit you, Nebulas, and you do a little the riposte. You see? So he does the parry and quickly follow up with a smack, little smack. So as you can see, there's a little, pattern in one-handed, relies on riposte, counter, quick, swift. So there's some common themes with them. And again, Mad Lad, you guys cooked. Mad Lad? Henrik, not Nebulous confirmed. Yes, we are not the same person. Yeah, so again, I have a armor on me that is dev armor, so I take no damage because we're testing a lot of things and we don't have to care about the damage. So yeah, ignore the 0 impact. Bam, bam. And this is amazing. So we had a lot of fun today playing around. So every update we do now is just refining the animation, the direction, the hit, the sweet spots. You can see some of them a little bit off rotation wise. Jesus. So those are the things we're polishing on right now. You see the direction there, stuff like that. Pole axe. Yeah, we can show a pole sword. We have some cool stuff there. So the stance is not correct on all of them, so they will have some updates. But look at this motherfucker. It's the rock from the Game of Thrones, the mountain. Remember that move? It's pretty cool, eh? The mountain, and then we have a little dance flurry, a little dance flurry. So this is the pole sword. I think it was doing the impale. Sorry. Sweeping strike. Sweep your pole sword in horizontal slashes. Blade dance. Raises your pole sword and swing it around in a wide arc is the one that he showed us. And then we have heave. Horizontal. Did you see that Troy? Did you see that Troy move? Show us the Troy jump again. Hey! From above. From above. Really cool. Really cool. Oof. Jesus. So there's a lot of new directions to learn to react to do the proper parries. So we've been doing way less spinning around to focus on mastering, the new moves that surprises you from hell. Yeah, it's parable, as you can see. I parried his last throw, but I missed the first one because I wasn't. We have a little, that is a cool one. I can show that as well. The bow. So there's some agility add to this one. I'm just gonna get some adrenaline. So as you can see here, we have now the aim is off on these ones, so that we're gonna fix. But and the effects are a little bit crazy. But we have a little 3 arrows as we can shoot. We have let's see which one was this one. It was volley. So I can shoot 3 quickly. They will it will draw them faster. In the next version we have retreat is pretty interesting. Look at this one. Bam! A little jump back while I'm shooting. So if someone getting too close, you just do the bam. You just do the bam. And of course you get adrenaline by doing range damage as well, as you can see here. The little bam. So you can spin while you're doing them, but we have a specific modifier to control that. So it's going to be way stricter, right? So you can't do crazy spins while doing those powerful stuff. Aaron, thank you for the donation. You guys going to slow down time to kill, or are we all just going instant kill each other now? So obviously this will be on PTR, where we accept feedback on all of this when it comes to numbers. So number one concern is to make sure nothing is crazy overpowered, and I'm sure you veteran pros can help us identify those in the current version. And then we will do quick iterations to get those in right aligned. So obviously we will do heavy testing on this, and we appreciate you help that are really good at PvP and balance, so you can help us getting those identified so we don't have anything game breaking, balance too powerful. It's very easy for us to balance the numbers now when everything is in place. We're gonna announce the PTR. It's very soon. Look at that powerful blow with the one-handed club. Bam! A little whip bash. A little whip bash, you know? A little whip bash. Sneaky, sneaky. We're quite close to the PTR. We're gonna post it on the website as usual, so everyone can get the heads up before it's time. So when the skills requirement, I think they were in steps, like you need 70 for a specific ones and possibly 90 or 100 for a more high adrenaline cost version, if I'm not mistaken. I think they are in that order. You can change the UI to not be in center of the screen. So we did a lot of session about this and see how can we make this integrated and feel good in a sweet spot without being too intrusive. And we didn't want to do thousands of options or toggles and shit because, you know, it's not good when making games. So we put it here as a baseline, and if people can get you know, used to it and think it looks good and works well, obviously we can do tweaks on it based on feedback, but we don't want to. We prefer not to have multiple versions, but it's based on feedback, right? We can always tweak it a lot. Oh, damn! Okay, let me. Let's see. What do we have? We have a little hammer. Let's get a little adrenaline. Bam! 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 You like that? You like that combo? And then chicka bam! Hey, bam! You know? So obviously that hack combo is three directions that you obviously need to parry in those 3 directions. So a little practice to get used to what kind of moves you're facing. Do you see his thrust from the angle? It's pretty cool. You see? Coming from the outside in, straight. Bam, 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 bam. Really cool, really cool.
Oh my god.
So the adrenaline is, if you're playing outnumbered, you take damage, you get way more adrenaline than passing. That's also part of the balance we want to take a look on. So that means if there's 2, 3 or more against you, you're gaining more abilities than your opponents to battle the Zerg balance a little bit. But those numbers will obviously be tweaked heavily, most likely, based on PTR. I mean, when we see the most pro PvPers in the game, they put everything in the center, because obviously you need to be able to see the things, right? So that's why we also put adrenaline around the center. But like I said, if everyone votes that it should be wider or adjusted, then obviously that's something we're gonna take a look on, right? This is our baseline for everyone. We enjoy it, it works, but obviously if we see the majority wants wider, smaller, bigger dots, whatever that may be, then it's all doable. We were thinking of making a straight version that you can pull like this, put whatever you want, but it's another version, you know, and it changes things, so we didn't stop with that. But that could be done if the entire community says we want one, we require one. Then we can make a toggle to make a line like this. That is a possibility, but we don't want to start that way. But like I said, if the majority really wants that one instead, then it's doable. So again, all your feedback will be highly valuable, and we will get to it as much as we can. So we have a function where we can tighten the spin control. Obviously, if you're doing some of these moves, we want to tighten them severely. Look at these. Look at these, Mo. Can you do the... Oh shit. Holy shit. What did I... Can you do the... Yeah, that one. The axe, the furry, or what the hell it was. Oh, with the pole axe. Let's see if we can show some stuff. We need some adrenaline. Okay, look at this. God damn! A little flurry. Let's see what's it called. Poleaxe. I think it's the alternating strike. Perform altering sweeping left and right strike. And as you can see, you can start from left or right. So there's 2 versions of it. Shaft strike. Perform a quick strike with the shaft of your pole sword. Deals 70% damage, deals 15% armor piercing. It's one custom animation. Rising strike. Perform a rising cut followed by an overhead strike. Successful hits will dismount a riding opponent. Whoop. So that was a push arrow, a little push arrow. Do you see that? He did a push arrow. Gonna whack him. Let's set up my little combo. So obviously it's not gonna be insanity to obtain the skills, right? It's gonna be quite straightforward to obtain those. They will not be severely gated because, you know, it's a big part of the new, more deeper combat. So this cleave goes through multiple ones from the Dalt to him. If I'm obviously standing right now, I'm doing the normal. So 1 second. Okay, now. And bam, you know, the bam, and then finish off. You know, the come over here for Mortal Kombat. Bam, the Troy move. You know. And then we have the above, under, do you see? To feint them. And we can do the opposite. Under, above, you know. So there's a lot. There's a lot. I'm not sure if... I don't think the cleave stops from the parry, but you're parrying, right? But the other next one, you're still getting a whack if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, they are parable. They're parable. So yeah, it's been a lot of fun. A lot of fun playing around with these moves. And it's just awesome to feel like a freaking, you know, snappy response abilities on top of the normal system that is obviously a little bit limited, which we all been talking about over the years. It's freaking cool. It feels really good, this one. Probably one of the favorite to just play around with. So we talked about, obviously, where can people abuse adrenaline? Am I hitting my friend? Should we limit that adrenaline from guildies? But what if they then have blue with them? They hit them? You know, there's a lot of questions there. All of those are tweakable if we want to, you know, change it for guilds, etc. But will that then make people mix into groups? You know, what will the players do? So... but all of those are things we've been discussing and are prepared for, you know, if the players are giving us feedback on something very specific, we are prepared for that, you know. So shared abilities. Invigorates. Increases your stamina regeneration by 50% temporarily for 5 seconds. Again, those numbers we want feedback on, right? Rejuvenates, increase your health regeneration by 50% temporarily. 10 seconds on that one currently. Energize, increases your mana regeneration by 30% temporarily for 10 seconds. Quicken, increases your movement speed by 2.5% temporarily. 5 seconds only, so it's a little quick one. Amplify, increases your spell power by 5% temporarily. Effects last for 5 seconds, also a quick one. Again, the numbers are a base test line, so they will most likely be changed, right, during PTR. Empower, increase your melee damage by 5% temporarily for 5 seconds. Brace, increases your physical defense by 25% temporarily for 5 seconds. Poise, increase your knockdown resistance by 50% temporarily for 5 seconds. Ward, increases your magic defense by 25% temporarily, effectively for 5 seconds. So some of those quick things that can also be used in mid-combat in an interesting way, rather than a long buff. You have to time them accurately. So those are the shared abilities we have so far. Yeah, I can run around and perform these moves as well, you know. Let me show. This one is interesting. So, steady hand. So, for instance, if I'm moving around like this, but let me get some adrenaline. So if I'm running around chasing someone and I do this one, look at my aim. Aim! So I have a steady aim for that one. Can be quite useful because obviously running around with this aim, it's not very easy, right? But it's a quite costful skill. 3 adrenaline with the steady hands. Sorry, 1 second. Anti-zerg mechanics, yeah. So obviously many of these abilities will be effective against a zerg, and like I said, if you're fighting outnumbered, you will gain more adrenaline than that group fighting outnumbered. So naturally, if you're a good player, you can have more power against a zerg. Gilbert Wombat, thank you for 33 months. Wait, sorry, I missed your message. Let me take a little look here. Damn! Finally something. Finally bright future for the game. Keep up the good work. I'm glad you enjoyed so far. There's a lot to dig into, but it's very exciting stuff. We've been having a blast doing these kind of moves. Can I consume adrenaline to parry magic? Parry magic. So all damage type you take give you adrenaline, and all damage types you give adrenaline. So mages obviously also get adrenaline by causing damage. I don't know if they're outnumbered. Well, if 2 people are hitting you, you gain twice as much adrenaline. So in that way, you have way more than they have. Prevent you from building adrenaline of your guildmates. Yeah, that's what I said 5 minutes ago. We obviously thought about that, right? Like, okay, so what would the players do to maximize the adrenaline? Probably hit each other's, maybe heal up and then run in. But there's a few factors, right? So look, as you can see my adrenaline now. Let me build it up a little bit. So if I'm hitting you now, I need to give you a lot of damage for you to get more adrenaline than this. So that means I'm killing you, so you have to heal, right? So you have to heal all the time, but sure, you can still do that. And then, okay, we need to jump into the fight. Obviously, you won't be hitting your friend for big damage if you're close to the fight. Because now, look at my adrenaline. Now we're done, we set up, right? And now the enemies is over there, so let's stop fighting each other, let's heal each other, and I'm gonna run. Look at my adrenaline. It's already ticking down, right? So I can't just maximize it and then run into the fight. Does it make sense? So that kind of naturally forces you to, you can't be 100% loaded and then jump into the fight. You see what I mean? So there's a natural balance there where you have to, you will kill your opponents if they're too close. You can't be doing that shit. If you're too far away, you may not have enough adrenaline when you're into the fight. So you see what I mean, right? Again, these numbers will most likely be tweaked based on feedback, because I'm sure we can test this in a larger scale on PTR to find those sweet spots. How can we make it, you know, as balanced as possible to avoid those kind of mechanics? Maybe it needs to drop faster. Sure, those are the things, you know, that we need to look into. But I mean, the thing is also, it's really fun to be able to spend adrenaline constantly in a fight, because it just adds such a layer. There's so much crazy going on. It's really fun, and when we're fighting and just surprising each other every time. So to have a steady growth and spend on them is more fun, we think, rather than just having to, oh, I'm fighting now, and oh, I can spend one. What do? I do this one, and that's it. And then everyone goes back to normal combats for like 95% of the time. We want abilities to be engaging a lot in a fight, right? Because it's fun. It breaks the meta, it breaks spins, things like that, right? But again, we don't know the sweet spot until, I guess, we have a lot more of you guys jumping in, helping us, you know, setting up. We're gonna set up some fights. We're gonna play this outpost. So, by the way, we have updated this outpost based on the last stream's feedback. way more friendly when it comes to being able to survive from elementalist spells. We've done a lot of tactical component where you can hide from them. We also adjusted the AoE, if I'm not mistaken, on... I think the fireball is wider AoE than it visibly represents. So that should be tightened up as well, so it's not hitting you across the entire field here when it impacts to the ground. So there's been some fine-tuning there as well. No, so we are considering the ping normalization in these abilities to work with overall the same we have now. There's still obviously this threshold when the fastest ones are difficult, especially West Coast. But we have that same threshold as the normal attacks. So none of the abilities except the bow abilities is useful on the mounts currently due to balance and important things. Fists, let's take a little look on fists. I've not tried those actually. We have a pommel. Could be that again some animation and speeds are a little bit off, but let's take a look, shall we? Oh shit, I haven't learned the uppercut even. Did I have the uppercut? No. Okay, I'm missing the uppercut. I haven't learned that one. But I have pommel. Perform 4 punches from different directions. We have the jab. Perform a quick forward punch. I don't think these ones are fully there yet when it comes to refining the polishing states. But let's take a quick look what the hell we are getting. Let's take a let's get a little adrenaline first. Yeah, I may need a GM for uppercut. There we go, there we go. There we go. A little uppercut, perform a rising punch. Did I show you? Yeah. Oh wait. So this was the quick, bam, quick jab. So the direction again is a little off. I think it's to the left, right? Let me get some more juice. Street fight, right? Is the sound scuffed? Wait. Can I do... Is it fixed? Is it better, or is it my sound as well? On the game sound. Is the game not fixed? How the hell do I fix that then? It's the beta audio capture, I assume, right? Is it fucked? Sounds fine to me. I'm not sure what how to fix that one. Yeah, it's OBS. It have the capture beta audio thing. Can I restart it somehow, guys? Not sure how the hell I do that. But it sounds scuffed, the in-game sound. It's not the game, it's OBS. This happened last time I streamed as well, but I don't remember how the hell I fixed it. It's fixed now, okay, yeah, I just reset it, I guess. Okay, what the hell were we doing? Yeah, the jab, right? And then we have... bam, bam, bam! The speed on this one, maybe half, right? So a little jab.
Oh my god.
So those are the things we'll work on now, the animation. Have a proper aim in the middle, long reach, and proper speed. Yes, these are tied to the primary weapon skills. So if you want to do all the axe abilities, you need the axe skill. You should keep the skills if you reroll a character, yes, but I have to write a little note to Sebastian to make sure that's not forgotten or a mistake, but I think so. But yeah, we already got the response there, I see. Great, great, great. Yeah, he did some crazy strikes with the sword. Bam! Yup. Just feels so freaking awesome. Freaking good. Freaking good. I feel the power, you know? The power. Yeah. Damn! God damn it! So how this works is, when I click the cleave, now, you hear the sound and it's activated, but it doesn't happen automatically. I have to perform it, and you can choose from left or right. Bam! You know? So it's still kind of connected to our current system, you know? You perform the direction, you do all the hits. And that's one of the things we wanted to do compared to Mortal 1, when you just click a hotkey and it does a move automatically. It didn't feel as integrated, but now the majority of the moves you have to choose the direction and perform just like any normal attack, so it's kind of tightly integrated. They don't feel like a wow ability, if you know what I mean. They're still integrated, but some of them are limited. Doesn't make sense that you can choose directions, so they are, you know, just one way. So yeah. And that's actually one of the things that I wanted to experiment, if I can feint a startup ability. I'm not sure if that made it into this version or if it was problematic. Let me give a quick try. I doubt it. No, I can't cancel it. When I do commit, I've committed. But obviously if I... So it's not... yeah. Yeah, you can do all the, so it's so integrated that you can do, you know, feint and start it. You see? So that you can do, feint into an ability as well. So it's very integrated into the current manual control of the combo system, which have been the goal, right? Yes, they take stamina. That's also a balance thing we are tweaking around with. So I don't have a shield, but you can do the spear shield as well. We have the same abilities with the shield as well. And with one had a sword and a shield, for instance. Can you activate these abilities after a jump? Let's take a look. So there's a few things that we're tweaking right now that are not as intended. For instance, there's a little cooldown that annoys the crap out of me, that doesn't allow me to do smooth combos. So for instance, if I perform... so if I want to do this combo quickly, you know, let's go for the... Let me take a little adrenaline. I do the... So if I want to clear my enemies here, right? Oops, sorry, wrong direction. I have to do the right direction as well when it's activated, like here now. So I do this one, and then I try to swap weapon, and then do another one. You see, there's a cooldown here that is a little bit too long, blocking me from using the next one. But we already discussed that one, that yeah, it doesn't feel good when it's locked for necessary 1-2 seconds. I want to be able to control it instantly after my move is finished, right? So that will make it feel more snappy. Yeah, so some of the stamina usage may be off, but those are the things we will be tweaking now and set the correct numbers on. My little sword. Let's take a look here. Get some adrenaline. So this one is cool. So you see, this is the parry stance. If someone is going at me, I can do this, and if he hits me doing that, I will perform a quick follow-up riposte attack, right? So you can a bam, a little bam, you know. so this one counter is pretty cool, because if someone hitting you doing that, you're countering it automatically. You see, I did a counter, he riposted it into me. Let me take a little adrenaline. So you can riposte into a riposte. You're riposting on the doll. See, I riposte, he's riposte. There's a lot of cool combos you can do. Bam! Thwat! I think this animation needs some love, if I'm not mistaken. It does some different slides. Let's see, what direction did you have? So left or right, you can do the SWAT. Let's take a look. From left. Oh, that was right, or was it? What the hell am I doing wrong? Left. But it starts from right, so yeah, this one is probably not correct. Right. Yeah, it looks like it's the same for both. So there will be one starting from one direction, so you can do them from different angles, so you have to learn to parry those combos. White here? Where do you see white here? Ah, with the arrow effect, you mean? One-handed hammers. Did I have one of those? I did. Let's smack some stamina. No, adrenaline. Wait, let me take a look on what we have here. Hammer. Phosphorus strike. Whip the head of your club into your opponent. So this is a little whip attack. And currently it looks like that. A little whip. You see? That's a little whip. And then we have Rapture. Swing your club upwards into your opponent. So that's a thrust parry on that one. So tricky. You see, coming from under up. So that's a parry. So it's a whip, you know. It's a whip. And the last one was Shatter. Swing your club down onto your opponent. Deals 10% higher durability damage to equipment. So if you want to, deals 50% higher durability damage to shields. So this is the shield destroyer. If you have those nasty shields on the field, you can start shatter them to pieces. And the armor takes a little bit more durability damage as well. Bam! These are very powerful, very powerful. Bam! Extremely powerful. Bam! Whoops. Again, those numbers will be tweaked, so don't be surprised if the number seems high or low. That's what we're focusing on during PTR. Not right now when we just want to have a test baseline on things. I had a little dagger, right? A little dagger. Precision strike, thrust your dagger from any direction. That is cool, right? So instead of always having parry down, you have to parry the thrust cuts from any direction. Like so, or so, like that, or you know, from the side, from above, you know. Again, we're gonna focus on the balance during those moves. If something starts to become OP during PTR, please let us know if there's something that seems to be a new powerful meta that we don't want to be the only option on the field, right? Better for us to be too weak in general, and then slowly, carefully bump them up rather than have a few that completely dominates due to power. Because it's very easy and quick for us to tweak these numbers during PTR. No, I'm not locked into place. I can move like this, do the side slash, left slash, I mean thrusts. So again, very integrated to our current direction movement system. Let's see, two-handed. This one is a dev sword, which doesn't allow me to do anything, but this one should. Flurry. Perform 2 flowing cuts, deals 25% armor piercing. So you can do it from left or right direction. Hanging thrust. Perform an overhead feint followed by a strong thrust. Hilt strike. Bash the hilt of your sword downwards into your opponent. Alright. Let's take a little look. So this one was slash slash, okay, from any direction. Slash slash. Nice little combo. And then we had wait, what was, which one was this? Hanging thrust. Yeah, so this is a feint. You don't really see it. No, that was the hand. Yeah, I'm doing a little bash with the hilt. Needs a little bit better reach on that one, I think. So you see that there's a build-up animation first to get you, able to read it, but then you have to learn that combo is a quick left-right swing. But as you can see, the build-up still give you plenty of time with the ping normalization, as you can see here. Look now, you see that build-up? You are really charged back, so you can have the time to pair them, but you have to learn it, right? Yeah, it doesn't look that the feint is working actually. It's not supposed to have a direction, but it allows me to enable it and do any direction, which is a little odd. So yeah, it looks like that one is not activated for this build. Correct. Yes, they are dependent on their combat skills. So if you want to do the two-handed sword abilities, all of them, you need to have skills in that weapon. Spears. Alright. One of my favorites. Let's build some adrenaline. Did you mean... Yeah, spear and then bow. I can... let's see if I can do a cool combo. Let me put the arrow there. And... okay. So we can do the Troy from above. We can do the over-under thrusts or under-over. They can go in any direction. And then we can do the sling. And quickly change to this one and do a quick bang, web bam. Web bam, you know the web bam? Or ping ping. You know? Or running quickly with perfect aim, or not running, but walking with perfect aim, and then bam in the head. So you can do some really nice combinations with all these, and they're still again integrated with your normal control system, which is really neat, really neat. Chill. Feel like a scorpion. Only bow abilities are available on horseback currently. It's also a matter of balance, right? You know, and what makes sense. Obviously, doing a cleave on a horseback, I'm not sure if that's doable, right? Get over here and then... Yeah, this one is really cool. You see the band connected from my wrist to the actual spear, but I pull it back. I want to... It looks so cool in third person as well. It's complete full body motion capture animation. It looks like a freaking beast. So the all of these animations are motion capture, real human motion. And then of course we need to tweak where it hits and angles of weapons and all that sweet spots. Shared abilities, yeah, we talked a little bit about them, but the shared abilities, so currently we have 3 of each, right, for all the weapons, except the bow, it has a few more. And then as you can see down here, the shared abilities, 9 of them, they're always available to combo with any of your weapons. So you want to have these 5, right, to use per weapon group. So you can choose to put all of these 3 here, and then you have 2 spare slots to spend any of your shared abilities if you want, or you go whoever you want, obviously, right? But as you can see, they're tied to the weapon group, so if you look at the down right corner and I swap a new weapon, it automatically updates to that setup. You know, you see? Yeah, feast weapons has also their own. Hey! The quick jab. Let's see, did we... Is Nibolas here? Or... I want to see if we can show some cool stuff. I wanted to show the Troy jump and some of the moves in third person. Looks awesome. You can blink charge, absolutely. But, you know, now you have a lot of different tactics to your... What do we say? Yes, when you summon a walker now, you don't need to cast control on them anymore. It should be automatically under your control. So less fiddling around with using your walkers. No, we don't plan to add a third-person view because obviously that would change everything in this game. But what I meant is if we can look at my friend Nimblas, if we jump in, then obviously you can see how it looks when someone else performs them, right? Some limit, please. Yeah, you know, again, balance. Balance. I think the 200 rotation is wrong. I don't have that, but maybe Nebulous can show them. We will see. So, yeah, you may have spotted the weapon fatality. There are some fatalities that can be done. Okay, let's see now here. We will see some stuff in third person, how it looks. You see that Troy move? Look at the entire body. It's me being a ninja with the motion capture suit. And look at that scorpion throw. Throw it from my side profile. I want to see when you throw it. So fucking cool, right? So cool. Awesome. Awesome. You see that? Thrust from above and then under. And opposite. Yeah, imagine imagine that. Chill! That's one of our builds, right? Snapshot. Very quick pull. Very quick pull. I hurt my shoulder motion capturing this badly. And it wasn't fall damage, but it was simply a lot of strain on the shoulder, and I have a little impingement or whatever it's called, so not the best thing doing 500 motions like this. Doom! Doom! Look at this. Look at that trail! Little signal. That's really cool. I think this can be useful. It can become a moral ranger now. Like if he's too close, you just need a little juice first, right? Too close, you just jump back and boom, boom, and then boom, a quick pull. Yeah, so there's a few debuffs, right, with the hits. Dazed is one of them. That have some impact on you as well. Yes, you can combine abilities with shield. You can finally be hanging through motion capture. Indeed, indeed. Yeah, let's see if you have the. Do you have the two-handed hammer and can show some of that? You trade by the books, so quite straightforward how you can obtain those. Bam! A very powerful two-handed strike from above. It breaks your neck. And then bam, above and thrust. Bam, 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 you know? No? Yes, there's hammer abilities. We have all weapon groups here. Except lances. Jesus Christ. Look, I got dazed. I got dazed. So obviously, now you have so many different combos and things to use. So it's going to be interesting to see, you know, the spinning thing. We also have one function where we can strengthen the spinning both in the normal combat swings and abilities to have proper balance over those. So again, we highly appreciate for anyone wanna jump in on PTR, go through the abilities, give us if something is OP or crazy numbers, same on the buffs and all the abilities, and if something needs to be tightened up. PTR is very soon. We're gonna post it on the website very shortly. So very soon, very soon. Look at that little whip, little whip. We'll run PTR a little bit longer than usual so we can get plenty of feedback on all these abilities, and hopefully we can be organizing some groups, some fights, and just go through them, get data, tweaks, and also I wanna play, you know, I wanna grab like 200 people or something and play the Outpost mini game here and fight it off, so we can get a good test of this as well, and of course all the abilities we should be killing. Hey, cat name. Oops. So yeah, like I said, it's been a blast. It feels so fresh and new with all these different options to do combos and surprise the hell out of your opponents. It's no more common left, right, thrust, upswing. Now you have a lot more tools to your arsenal. Pew! Pew! This one looks cool in third person. I'm letting go of the handle to slide down, so I hold the axe head like a knuckle and then I strike. It's real awesome. The axe movement is not fully there yet, but it's gonna be a little bit polished to get there. Yes, you can block them. Multiple melee skills will be a thing now, absolutely. Yeah, I love the combos. You know, I'm gonna run with a little combo setup for sure. I don't have the poleaxe, but maybe Nebulas can show. Can you show the poleaxe moves? Maybe a little bit. I think we're missing a few sounds of those as well, and the stance is wrong, but we can get a little general idea of it. Bam! Do you see that little hilt strike? So if you're in close quarter, you can use that one to whack them. And you have a huge arc wield from the two directions. Yeah, you see, I was jumping and performing the ability ring. So yeah, you can. You're free, just like any swing. You're free to perform them. It's completely integrated in the current system because everyone been worried, you know, like some people are hesitant. Don't do like in Mortal 1 or World of Warcraft. You just click a hotkey and it performs something. So we really want to integrate the system into this, you know, the charge release, the directions, and that's what we've done. So they have the same kind of rules as a baseline, with a few small exceptions. You will find NPCs to trade the books on, so it will be quite straightforward. Nothing crazy. Dazed. Pulsing mana Reagan. I mean, a lot of this helps smaller groups because we're designing the adrenaline usage based on that, right? If you're finding outnumbered, you're gonna have way more abilities to use than the ones trying to hit you. Drunken family argument, thank you very much. But again, those numbers will most likely be tweaked on PTR. But if you're fighting outnumbered, you're gonna have more adrenaline than the people trying to hit you, which means you can perform a lot of crazy things. I mean, just pulling up the axe and do a cleave if 2-3 people are trying to melee you, you're gonna hit all 3, right? And there's also a damage reduction slight that we can balance in those. Kind of like the counter function. Also done like 20 new cool emotes, dances and crazy shenanigans, and we laughed a lot when we added those. But I'm not sure yet where we're gonna put those, but they will come eventually. What's gonna be adrenaline system for mages? Same thing. If you cast spells, your adrenaline goes up as well. And obviously you can use the shared abilities also. And you can tap into any, if you diagram mage, fists, mage, whatever. So there's obviously a few things there as well. Can you reorder your skills and will it remember it's yes, exactly. So you know, you can set this, you can change all this for that setup. So if I swap from hammer, you see my build here now, right? And I swap into bow, it's the bow memory tab. So you can set up many different combos that way. But I'm using the swap now, right? I go between the two quick. No additional points for the skills. They're just tied to their combat skills. So access, obviously you invest in access to get those abilities. Yeah, you know, obviously we need to test AoE magic. They may be whacking up a lot of adrenaline, but again, you know, that may be something that they need, right? To use buffs, because now melee have a lot of more tactics and options, right? So maybe it's not a bad thing if a mage bomber flows a lot of adrenaline. And when you kill someone, you get an adrenaline dot. If you do a fatality, you will get more dots. So yeah, foot archers will be way more available now, or viable, because some pretty quick taps, keeping your distance and such. We were looking into the parry function, but we haven't figured out a good way to incorporate it in our system, but there may still be options to add that later on. So again, obviously this list can grow over the years, you know. If we want to have, okay, we want one more now ability per weapon group, we want to add something for lances, specific for mages, we have the system for that, right? I mean, look at this quick jump, and then, you know, you can have no arrows. That can be good to have, right? You can combo all of these, right? And every hit and damage give you more adrenaline. So hit jump, and then you know you can do a quick tap. The aim is a little bit off. It looks like I'm aiming on the left adrenaline. Yeah, so the aim is off on that one. And you can run and aim with steady hands or walk around. Still pretty hard to hit moving target. T, steady hands, super perfect aim. So yeah, we're gonna announce the PTR quite soon, because now we want a lot of feedback on balancing all of these. Again, the goal is to make sure nothing is crazy overpowered, so everyone goes to that, right? So we appreciate if you have the time to help us test through them and give your feedback on the numbers. Same with the buffs, the shared ones, right? We want them all to be useful, but nothing crazy standing out. Better for them to be a little bit weaker than too powerful. Hunger action points to use ability. What I mean? No, so I mean you learn access, right? And you get these abilities for free when you get the book for them. So there's no points on the books. They're integrated in the axe skill. Piercing shot is for armor. You see here, one powerful draw that does 25% armor piercing. Currently at 25%. Again, we hope to test that on PTR to see if we can find a sweet spot where we you can shoot through heavy armor with that ability, right? No, they won't cost any points, these skills. So you have to invest in hammers, right? Which means the 100 skill points if you want to master access and all these abilities. So if you already are 100 in access, then you just need to trade the abilities. You see what I mean? So yeah, like I said, it's gonna be a lot of fun to test this with you guys. We have had a blast doing all those kind of abilities on each other's. It just looks and feels really awesome compared to the a little out of date, stiff, you know. This is all we got today. Quite straightforward, a lot of skills to master, right? But it just gets way more interesting now when you can do new tacticals. Didn't I show the hammer before? I think I did, right? Aim! Aim from under, so that's a thrust. Again, the angle was a little bit off to the side. So those are the things we are polishing on. So that's from above. Yeah, this one is quite skewed to the left. No, you can't use these on a horse. Most of them don't make sense. You do a full body crazy movement, right? But both abilities can be used. I'm not sure if it's all of them, but quite a few. I mean, we've all been talking about since day one that the spin meta is not for everyone. Some think it's, you know, it's the only way to defeat your opponent with your skills, right? Maybe it doesn't look super cool, but there are skills involved, obviously, right? And then to disguise your strikes. But hopefully now we tap into something more engaging, different types of attacks. You have to read opponents rather than spin around all the time. So it's going to be very interesting to see if we can get away a little bit from only having spinning meta and actually have some cool moves with a lot of skills and variations. We have an important factor where we can tighten up the spin speed on everything pretty much, so we are sure that they are under control, all the abilities. Yeah, I mean, some people think the spinning is cool, right? It looks like a little ninja, but some of it looks a little quirky. You're doing this, fine. I mean, doesn't make fully sense, but we fully understand. I think everyone understands why that is the only viable tactic when you're dueling someone, right? Not as much in a big battle, because then it's all about coordination, team colors, and, you know, being in the right position and teamwork. And now it's going to be even more interesting to have these new abilities. And even in a duel, I think you don't just have to rely on a spinning meta now, when you can actually punish the guy trying to do some disguise, and then you can, you know, counter with interesting options. So it's going to be very interesting to see if duels is going to be a little bit more exciting. Obviously, team wars is always where the game shines, where, you know, everything goes, and team coordination and skills is more important. I think you've been killing it with the expansion. I'm happy to hear that. Yeah, it looks like we're glad to see that the majority of you also share that. This is going to be very fun and exciting. Obviously, now you're just watching it, right? It feels really great when you do a nice combo of things. Like I showed you when I began the stream here. Whacked 2 walkers and then bam! Slingshot the walker on distance. You know, you can do so many cool things, right? With these moves. I mean, we are in the polishing state now and balancing state when it comes to all of this. Like I said, some of the animations still need some love and correct, you know, adjustment on the how they strike, and of course the balance, the numbers. So that's, you know, the majority of the work we need to do now. Fine-tuning all the animations and make it feel great when you fight. A lot of it feels really good now. Some of them feel a little bit off, but obviously those are the things we're working on. So you know, balancing is always difficult for us. We try to set the, you know, starting grounds, but I'm sure some of them are off until we go into PTR, when you guys that are more, you know, veteran PvP players can help with fine-tuning those numbers, especially finding those that are over the top, and obviously those that are crap, so we can get those in an interesting state. And, you know, just polishing into the end, and when we are good with that, that's when we plan to release. So, I mean, we're not very far off right now. We're getting closer, guys, and obviously PTR very close first. Yeah, we updated the outposts based on your feedback, guys. Really good. So obviously a lot of people were worried about elementalism being too powerful in choke points and not enough space to hide and move around. So based on that feedback, we did a lot of obstacles where it can block hits. We also fine-tuned the fireball AoE because it was longer than it's visually hitting, so that's going to be a little bit tighter. And you can see here, a lot of you guys said that this was going to be a death point, so we did add these obstacles here to make sure that you can't just be choke pointed with elementalism damage. You see, you have like a lot of defense sections where you can run around without getting full AoE spells from across the base. So you actually have to see them, you know, and get to them. So this one have been modified, tweaked with more protection against OA as well. Extended the yard a little bit here as well with multiple ways of defense on to cutting line of sights. We changed this base because a lot of you guys thought the resurrecting place would probably be bombarded by elemental spells as well, so we changed that. We decorated the place so it feels a little bit cozy, you know, like a little fortress. If we go up here and take a look, the priest is now here, so it's more protected from walls, right? So you can resurrect here and access bank access or storage stuff to rear gear. And then we have this little upper place. You can run around and hide here. Good overview. You can jump down here, jump on the roofs, hide around the sides. You can also jump up here to get a better overview on what's going on. You know, so yeah, we've done quite a few tweaks on this base. Thanks to you guys with your feedback and you know, having good access. You can jump down, you know, to tap into the battlefield. So that's gonna be really fun to gather up and do these outpost fights in the PTR. So that's gonna be the main focus, right? We can do outpost runs to see, you know, how things are working, the balance. And yeah, we've done changes here as well. As you can see, you can jump down there, have some protection, you can jump out there. And we did what you guys suggested. The majority wanted to have a better safe of you can't jump in some locations, so they're protected, you can't jump in, but you can jump out. Things like that, to make sure that the balance is better. So there is invisible restrictions in a few cases where you have to open the gate to get in, to get past this. But I can jump down. So there's a few things, we secured it, so hopefully it will be a nice fair battle between the two sides. So this is going to be really fun to fight. So let's gather on PTR. We'll have two sides, hopefully somewhat even numbers, and fight it out to see what the hell we can get out of this, right? And of course, a lot of you guys probably gonna be killing it with all these abilities, help us going through them and give feedback on the numbers. So hopefully they are all in a good line. I prefer a little bit underpowered overall rather than some overpowered. Yeah.
Oh my.
And of course, you know, I think I've gone through all of them, and the ones that I didn't have weapon for, Nebulous was kind enough to show us in third person. Obviously this will be a recap video as always. If you just tune in and missed it, it will be a recap, and we will post a lot of this on the website. Git Rex Scrubs donated 1. Thank you very much. Do you plan to show off fatalities? Any more animations? Any more animations? Sword news, will adrenaline be built off NPC, priest, Ekris, etc. or Alice? So right now, anything you damage will give you adrenaline, but we have been discussing the balance there, like if you shouldn't be gaining that when you hit your friends. There's some pros and cons with that. Imagine if you wanna practice, which is a common thing, right? If you wanna practice fighting in your base, you're not gonna get the adrenaline, right? The normal way, which is a bit unfortunate and boring, right? But we also obviously see where you may smack each other and then run into the battle. That is why we try to have a balance on the decay rates on adrenaline. So the adrenaline, you always have 1 for free, except Alvarines, they have 2. That's their special powers. But if I go up now in adrenaline, it slowly ticks down again. So I need to do a lot of damage to fill this up, which means I'm killing my friend close to enemies, which obviously we're not going to be good, right? And when I'm done and I have time to heal him up, this is going to decay. So that's the few of the numbers and balance we can use to secure the balance around that, right? But obviously, like you said, we have thought about it. So if there's any specific rule we need to change, then obviously we will take that on PTR, right? To see what can be done, how to get it in a good balance. Because as you can see now, I have to pass a lot of damage, so I'm killing him. So obviously I won't be doing that close to my enemies, right? And now if I'm hitting him, and now we're healing him, and now we're gonna run into my enemies that is, you know, have to be far away enough to not kill him. That means you can see my adrenaline is already going down here. And we want you to be able to use adrenaline constantly, quite a lot, because it's fun, it's engaging, it removes the classic spin meta, which is everything, you know. To be able to swap into combos, that's cool as hell and feels awesome. So we don't want you to just have a fight and okay, I can use one ability now. I'm using this one and then go back to the normal swings. We want you to be able to do a lot of cool things, right? And utilize skills and give some wow experience factors. But like I said, all those numbers can be tweaked easily. So we're gonna see. I'm sure we're gonna, you know, quickly find out when we're playing bigger forces here on PTR. We're gonna see where the majority are pointing at when it comes to how to get those numbers in the sweet spot. No. Aim. Because yeah, it's a really cool system where you see the ability saves per weapon group. So you have to spend a little time to build your build here. This is your build, right, for access. So this is my current build, and then my swap weapon bow. This is the current build for that one. So you see, if there's this is your enemies, they're going to get you. You know, you just do this, bram, bram. You know, and then you finish off with a little pium. You know, a little pium. You know. So and it just feels amazingly when you cleave them like that. So I think it's more fun to have a lot of those options rather than having no adrenaline, right? But again, you know, we're gonna push this hard on PTR to see what we can get. Obviously, we can all never agree on perfect numbers because everyone have different opinions on things. But hopefully, we will find a good sweet spot to start on off. Is this going to lower the skill ceiling of the melee combat? The opposite, obviously, right? Now you have a whole new layer of tactical options, and I'm sure you guys are gonna invent cool combos used in really cool ways. There are way more options now that we have been lacking. That I think the spin meta is absolutely gonna change. Adrenaline is gained on taking damage and giving damage and doing parries. And if you're fighting out numbers and they're hitting hard, you're gonna gain more adrenaline, more than they are giving damage. So that's a balance to be anti-zerg. So you can actually fight outnumbered people and have more adrenaline to spend. I'm not saying that we are removing spin meta. You can still do spins if you think that is still the best meta for you. But I think that you may be punished if that's all you're doing and not adapting to using new tactics and some of the new tools that you're getting now, right? But sure, you can still spin, but you may get whacked by some of the abilities if that's what you're doing. So that's gonna be very interesting when you guys jump on. We're gonna have dueling sessions and testing sessions focused on that, right? And we will see where we stand. You see, if I do a lot of damage, I gain quite a bit adrenaline right now. Arrows. So those you can release faster. They're gonna be even faster when you load it. I'm gonna be able to do 3 quick releases. They're a little bit too slow now. So yeah, I think we have gone through the basics of it. We've gone through all the builders here, I think, right? How this works, what this means, and the shared abilities, and how you build your build here that saves with that weapon. So when you swap the weapon, it changes automatically for that build here. And you see this little nice icon in the center that shows you you're going for the bow, you're going to bow, and two-handed axe. Nice little thing, right? So you know what you're using. And we have this little thing, right? It's equipped, highlighted. Pretty nice, right? Pretty nice. One spear is going to go hard. Is there anything else? I don't think so, right? Shit, it's already 2 hours, guys. Time is flying. Flying. But yeah, it's really cool because you see, I can have all these weapons on hotbar, you know, and as long as I swap to the dagger here, this is my pre-loadout for the daggers, right? Then I swap to my spear. This is, no. The hell do I have it? Spear. This is my spear layout, you know. And of course I have the quick swap. Really nice. Yeah, I think it's time to shit, what is it called? The giveaway. What the hell is that called now again? Let's see. So let me just quickly jump over here, guys. I showed face weapons. I think I showed most of them a few times now, so obviously it will be recapped as a video. We will post it on our website, so if you tune in late today, don't worry, we will post this as soon as we can on the website, so you can take a look on this, so I don't have to repeat it too much for everyone that is here now. Because now I think it's time to do this little thing, right? Let me start it. Explanation mark MO2. We are running the giveaway. We'll give it a minute, and then we'll hit it. Yeah, so all fatalities are not finished yet, so I haven't shown much of that, if any. So that's something we are still fine-tuning so it looks more satisfying. They're not connected correctly, so it doesn't look really representable at the moment. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to the PTR to see what all your crazy shenanigans are coming up with the combos. Maybe Nebulous can fatalitize, make a fatality on a mob. But yeah, it's gonna be fun to hopefully we can create 2 nice even teams to do the Outpost fights, some really nice fights, and of course we need to dig heavily into the Jesus Christ! Jesus! I saw a fatality. Did you hear that sound? Whoop. Okay. What wasn't completely synced? We'll give it like 2-3 minutes and then I'll roll the giveaway. While we do that, I will see if we have something cool to show here. Chicka boom! Oh. What in the... What in the hell? Right. What in the hell is going on here? What in the hell? No, they're not unlocked instantly. You need to trade abilities. Uh-oh. Yeah, we had some crazy test experimenting fatalities. Oh my god. I think he did maybe a fatality. So we're still fine-tuning those. What happened, guys? I didn't even... Was I walked? Yeah, I think there's a few areas where we wanna move the outlaws a little bit, right? Did I get cropped? Okay, one more minute and then we roll it. Exclamation mark MO2. It's running in the background. We have a bunch of different fatalities, but they're not fully synced, so we are experimenting with them. Did I kiss goodnight? Headbutt. It's getting hot in here, guys. 30 degrees in my room. Bam! Chicka bam! That ragdoll, we had that for a while now. Some people think we shouldn't remove it, but I think maybe we should, right? So, should we do the giveaway, guys? Are we ready? I didn't catch the outlaw catching me, but that happens, you know. Pain Spike, happy to hear it, you know. Happy to hear it. We're looking forward to get your hands on this system as well to help us fine-tune the numbers. Devil Reflex, no, like I said, we have a system in place to make sure that pumping adrenaline on each other is gonna be a little bit of a suicide or risky business. I showed the mechanics, right, where the numbers we have. We just need help with inputting those numbers correctly, so it's not going to be effective. We may also disable so you don't even get an adrenaline when you hit a guildie, but that means you can't practice on guild fights, and that's a big fun part of it, right? So do we really want to eliminate it? I'm not sure. No, the axe cleave will go through multiple targets, but you can parry it for you. Alright, let me do the giveaway, guys. It is time. It is time. Where do I have it? Here. Alright. It is gain on damage giving and damage taken. Alright, I'm rolling the giveaway, guys, so good luck, everyone. Let's roll, let's roll. Chicka boom, jum. And... congratulations, I'm the Turk. Alright, alright. Let's see if he's here. No, we don't have lance abilities currently. The horse is very specific. Let's see, I'm the Turk. Are you here? Is he here, guys? I'm the Turk. He's not. You need to send me a DM here within a few minutes. If not, we will roll it again. Is he here? Did I miss him? Shit, my stream is lagging to me. I need to refresh this window, I think. Is he here, guys? Can he send me a DM here? Yeah, just click me and whisper. I sent a message as well, so I can send it over. Holy shit, it's hot in here. Marmalade, eh? Alright, he got it, he got it. I'm gonna send you the code. One moment. We got a lot of NVIDIA guys on our test server. They are testing our new DLSS 4 Superframe stuff. So if you're one of those lucky bastards with a 50 series card, you will go into space power. Super speed. I'm the Turk. Are you an MO1 player or MO2 player? Yeah, I need the AC. But I mean, here in Sweden, it's not that long period when it's really hot. So, but yeah, it would be nice to have one here when I'm working. It gets quite hot here. MO2, eh? Nice, nice. We will post on our website regarding the PTR starting. It should be very soon, not many days away. so you can prepare for that. So that code, I'm the Turk, is a Steam key for the game Mortal Online. So either if you want another account or you have a friend you want to invite, you can give that Steam code to him and they activate the product on Steam to get access with a free month. Animal breeding is planned for MortalOnline 2, yes, but we don't have a roadmap plan for when that will happen. But we will, after reckoning, start the voting for the upcoming areas of focus where you can vote on these things if you want it earlier or later. Making sure that only people in duel with you get adrenaline, not guildmates. But what about when we do guild fights? We are 20 versus 20 and have a lot of fun for hours and fighting and practicing. That means we are practicing without adrenaline, right? Which is unfortunate and not as fun, because it's really fun to play around and practice with this. To hit those combos correctly, hit the sweet spots, feels awesome. And if you can't do that when practicing with the guildmates, that's kind of boring, right? That's what I'm thinking, at least. Do you not agree, guys? But like I said, I think we can tweak the numbers quite a lot to make sure you can't really abuse it, because you're killing your friend too close to the enemies and they would just shoot an arrow in your neck. You know? But again, we will figure this out during PTR. We'll try to find those sweet spot numbers. We will see what we need to do. Can you stack adrenaline in your pets? What do you mean stack on them? Do you mean hitting them and getting adrenaline? Currently, all damage you give you adrenaline, and all damage you take gives you adrenaline, and parries as well. Yeah. Obviously, there are some things we may want to exclude from, like NPCs on your TC or something, I don't know. Are any adrenaline abilities Reagan help his damage reduction? Yes, it's the shared abilities. I show that. We're gonna post it on website again, so anyone that missed it will see those. We have them here. This is a quick tour of the shared ones, different types of buffs that everyone can use. So can someone walks and gain adrenaline on them? Right now, I think so, yes. So, I haven't tested it though, but I think so. Yeah, obviously we plan to expand housing modules and the different looks of those later on. The question is what we want to have next in upcoming patches. That was the giveaway. Like my haircuts, tattoos, that is also on the roadmap, so people can vote. So, you know, obviously now we are, with Reckoning, we are giving some of the top voted content, which is combat abilities. So obviously with that patch going live, we'll tap into what the future patches should contain, right? What's your egg in a container, eh? That's my little larva. My little larva. My little pet. Mages will also gain adrenaline by shooting spells and stuff. So imagine a AoE. You may get a lot of adrenaline that you can spend on these things. shared abilities, or if you use fists or daggers for anything, you know, there's a few options, right? Ogmir love when, I mean, they are getting quite a bit more adrenaline if they get hit. So you get a nice boost on adrenaline if you're getting hit. That's one of the unique stuff, you know. And the Thursa gets the opposite. They get a little bit more when they're hitting. All right, I think I covered in general what we plan to show you guys today. We gone through pretty much almost all, I think, all the abilities and perform them in first person and third person. The next step will be that you will be playing with this on PTR. We will be fine-tuning some of the animations until then. That is a little bit off. So yeah. I think that's it for the combat abilities. The fatalities need a little bit more synchronization. It's they're a little bit out of control, but there's some really cool stuff. So we will see what state they will be in soon. They're not the highest priority. It's cool stuff, but obviously the combat abilities is prioritized number one. The balance and the feel of them is important, right? So yeah, you can combo these with shields like normal, you know. You can have a spear and shield and do those abilities as well. You know, sling thrust and all of this works with shield. Yes, I showed adrenaline. We're gonna do a recap of this, where you will see all of this. We will post information on the website, just like we did with every reckoning update so far. So don't worry if you tune in just now. You will get information as soon as we can post it. So yeah, don't worry if you miss things. But yeah, it's really awesome to hear that so many of you guys are excited to play around with this and are looking forward to get onto a PTR or simply waiting for the patch to hit so you can get these new abilities. It's been really fun playing around with them. Feels like a fresh new experience with way more options. Very, very nice. So it's going to be awesome to see you guys play around with it as well. All right. I think that is my 2-hour queue. 2:20 even. Yeah, that cleave shot with the sling thrust combo, I love it. I love it. Feels so juicy. Feels so juicy. Thank you very much for the subscription, Sulpen. I appreciate it. All right. I think that is it for today's stream. Thank you all for tuning in and watching and asking your questions about it. Gonna do the recap and post information on the website, like as I said, as soon as we can. And then we're gonna post when PTR is opening up. We are only a few days away, if I'm not mistaken, so we're pretty close for you guys to play around with it and give feedback. Shall we do a little the usual raid, shall we? Let's take a look. Let's do the little poll as usual. Where the hell do we have the little poll, you know, a little poll? Right, let's quick vote and I will raid over. Yeah, I'm playing regular gambler. I actually started a few weeks ago with 4 in real life friends. We started off from scratch because, you know, I'm playing next to them. Almost all of them are completely new to the game, so it's been quite a blast to see how they experience things, how they figure out things, and we had a lot of fun. Got a lot of beating as well, a lot of death, which is, you know, the usual thing, being new in Mortal, but it's all part of it, and you learn with every death. So yeah, it's been fun. So let's see, we are raiding. Is it Andrew, eh? Practicing those blocking skills. I've been way out of the loop. I used to be pretty decent at dueling, right? But then I've been just crazy busy forever. And obviously practicing and teaching noobs, you know, doesn't really elevate your own skills. I didn't even see that I was dying. I didn't watch the screen when I was corrupted. But yeah, I'm sure that I could be a little bit decent again if I was practicing with you pro PvPers. But practicing or teaching the noobs that I've been doing doesn't elevate my skills really. We've been actually hanging around a little bit in the jungle. Build a little base, trying to do some secrets. Practicing building, killing mobs. But we've also been whacked a few times. It's always dangerous to go close to the camp. Jungle camp, you know. Do I need to pay the jungle tax? Was that why we were killed, eh? Lord Brett, yeah, I agree. You know, we're not gonna spend any more time on that. We had a little tweak on the Necros. When you summon a Necro, you don't have to cast control on them anymore. So that's gonna be a bit more smooth gameplay for the Necromancers. But not much else to focus on being on these main three areas, right? TC, invasion, and combat abilities. PTR is not this week, but very soon we will post it on the website. Oh shit, you playing jungle? Is that why 80% of the relics drops there? It's not. That's not why. We just get whacked if we go close to the relics mostly. But it's fun. We don't complain when we get whacked. We expect nothing else, being a noob team, you know. But they're slowly getting into it. Oh shit! All right, we did. Who the hell won the raid, guys? Was it Andrew? Where the hell do we have it? Where do we have the information? View results. Andrew, it is. All right. Everyone, thank you for tuning in today. It's been a pleasure to show the upcoming contents. And yeah, we're really looking forward to get your feedback on all this so we can get a good balance. Your information is very valuable here. You know very well when it comes to PvP, all you veterans. So we appreciate if you have a moment during the PTR to jump in and try them out and give feedback. Grappling spear ability, really cool. That's one of my favorites. But they all have something sweet. Something sweet, you know. The PTR is very soon. We're gonna post it on the website. I don't have the date in my head, but I'm gonna confirm with the guys. They will update and post on the website. So you will see all of this, including the PTR date, very shortly. Alright, let's do the raid to Andrew. And I think I've seen him a few times, right? Is he rather new or not? I didn't remember. Let's give him some mortal love and support, shall we? Alright. Have a good one. Thank you all for tuning in. And I will see you next time. And keep an eye out on updating on the website if you miss things about this stream. Everything will be there, including the PTR information. Let's raid and say hello to Andrew. Thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful evening. And I will see you soon again. Bye-bye.